Welcome to the show. Listen, today's guest has a powerhouse voice many of us know and surely love. She has graced us, moved us, even made us cry with her R&B ballads for more than 30 years now. And now she's got new music in honor of her late father, blues singer Syleena Johnson. Please welcome to the show Grammy-nominated singer Syleena Johnson.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you so much. I am serious. It is so good to have you here.
It's so good to see you and meet you.
Yes.
Child, you was just as pretty in person as you are down to
You
the
fat,
TV.
you pretty, you is smart. Right. I am so excited to have you here and talk about your music, but your decision to be so intentional about honoring your father's music.
Well, you know, I think it's important for us to be intentional about honoring legacy in general. You know, African American legacy.
Right.
You know, and my father, his legacy in music was especially important for me because he passed in 2022. And when he passed away, something in me just kind of woke up. You know, he went through a period of racial discrimination during the civil rights movement. That's when his music was, you know, that's when he was right in the thick of his music career. And if you think about it, you know, they were on buses, child, when they was burning crosses. You know, that they were traveling.
And burning the buses.
Correct.
On the way to voting polls, yeah.
Absolutely. So my father has endured the traumas of the music business and the traumas of society, of social, you know, of social culture as well. So,
and racial injustice.
Exactly. So I just felt like since we are in a time that kind of mirrors that in some way, shape, or form,
For sure.
I thought it would be good to kind of bridge the gap and at the same time honor my father's legacy and celebrate his sound and music, as well as educating, and I don't really want to say educating, but I'll use the word for, you know, for this time being.
Yeah.
Educating the Syleena Johnson fans that I already have, re-educating them on the origin of where I'm from and where my music is from and where my soul is from and my inspiration is from.
Chi-town,
Yes,
Chi-town. So listen though, I think it's so cool that part of that re-education is sampling your father's music. It's on every track, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, so pretty much every song has a sample, if not a sample, the sound of his voice from his documentary. I did that on purpose so that I could kind of evoke his spirit throughout the album, so that it's almost like his and I album, but not technically.
Right.
Also, my father was one of the most sampled artists of our time.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like, well, if everybody else is sampling him, and I'm his child, then I should be the one that, you know, samples him, you know, in the way that is even more blatant to kind of show this
and
my
it
father.
is, I mean, can we just be honest? It is your birthright.
Correct.
I mean, Different Strokes.
Correct.
Is, I mean, it's a classic song in itself, but when you think, like, I guess all we can say, because we can't play it, is just go look up how many times and how many of your favorite, especially hip hop songs, 90s and the 2000s, has that funky hook. And so every time you're listening to it, you're like, okay, I got next, basically, right? Can we say that?
Well, I guess I've had forever.
Yeah.
Because, you know, while they were sampling it, I was there through that process as well.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I've been hearing it over and over again as well.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, I'm not competing with anyone. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just.
Well, and to be clear, and this is, I'm not blowing smoke. There is no competition, right? Because you're not a competition.
Come on.
You're a collaboration, or you are here. But you've never been trying to compete. You've always stood out.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes, I did.
But I'm not competing with the ideology of, well, they sampled it, so I'm going to sample it. What I'm trying to do is show the similarities, the stark similarities of my father's gift and mine. And the best way to do that, or to do anything that's like that, similar to that, is to put them side by side. You know what I'm saying? So like if you have one glass over here, another glass over here, and they kind of look alike, you know, or they look different, you can put them together and be like, okay.
Yeah, it's giving me Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole vibes. Not the music, but just the experience it sounds like that you're trying to create for you, just as the daughter of a legend as well.
In a way, Natalie only did like one record, you know. I actually worked with my father. I started out in this game with my father.
And learned a lot of
15.
lessons.
Yes. So my father is of he is of the totality of my career. He has been embedded in the totality of my career. So this
Look at this. What do you think when you look at this?
And this is exactly the example that I just used with the glasses.
Right.
If you put the two side by side, you can see clearly the similarity.
It's not just the voice. It's not just the tone.
Yeah, he's my father.
It's the passion.
Correct.
From father to daughter.
It's my DNA.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Let's talk about the songs. There have been so many, right? But that one that kind of made people go, "Who this Hopper? Who is this?
Hopper.
Who this woman?" All Falls Down. I love the story, and I know some people have heard it, some people haven't. But the story of how you ended up singing that amazing hook that really is the trademark of the song, the signature.
What's interesting about how that song came about, it wasn't a situation where it's like, oh, I'm trying to get on his album, or I'm trying to get Syleena. It wasn't that situation. We were working on my album, which was Chapter 3, The Flesh. And he was working on a song called Bullseye for me, which later featured Common. And he was also working against a deadline for his own album, College Dropout. And it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was just, trying to get someone to do the hook because he couldn't get the clearance for the actual Lauryn Hill sample.
Okay.
I don't know the story of whether or not she wanted him to have it. I don't know that, but I do know that the clearance wasn't back in time, right?
Gotcha.
For the deadline.
So 4 o'clock in the morning.
That didn't do it. So no, I was there.
Oh,
I was
okay. You guys were already there.
So he was working in one studio, I was working in another.
Oh,
but
wow.
we were in the same, building. He was coming in, checking, So he says, Syleena, I've been trying to find a singer for this, this one hook. I was wondering if you could try the hook. And again, because it's not a matter of, I'm trying to get on, he's trying to get on. It's just, we from Chicago.
This is right. We gotta look out.
Whatever you say.
We've got this deadline.
On, what you got? Right, you got a deadline? All right, let me hook you up. It's that kind of thing. Or, sure, I'll come try it, Even though don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan and was a huge fan of his at the time.
Right.
Of his work, his music, his production. But I did the song a couple times, sang it a couple times. He was like, sing it the way you want to sing it. And I did a little something to it,
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, I'll see you later. Let me know, And then the next morning he called, not him specifically, but John Monopoly, his manager, was like, yeah, so the video, we're going to shoot the video at this day and the single is coming out, in this minute week. And I'm like, It's like 10 a.m.
So
I haven't slept, so... That's the story. Then here we are today.
And here we are today, still going, who this woman? I love it. I love it. Listen, we're going to pause right there, but when we return, Syleena Johnson shares her thoughts on the music industry, the lessons she learned from her father, and the impact that an industry has on mental health. That's big for Syleena. We're going to continue that part of the conversation when we return. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.